You're watching Nevada Business Chronicles. Take a journey with us to see the innovative businesses that put Nevada on the business map. Connecting you with the businesses, events, and organizations that bring innovation and prosperity to the Nevada area, please welcome your host, Mitch Burney. If you or someone you know suffers from neuropathy, you need to pay attention to this segment. We're here with Patrick Doyle, the founder of Neighborhood Neuropathy Center of Reno. Thank you so much for having us here.
Glad you could be here.
Tell me a little bit about Neighborhood Neuropathy Center. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is a disease of the nerves where people experience pain or lack of pain.
So what are some of the causes of neuropathy and what are some of the symptoms?
The main cause is diabetes. That would be followed up shortly by chemotherapy drugs. Those are the two large ones. There's a lot of other smaller causes too, but they all contribute to that. That's on the metabolic side. Also on the mononeuropathy side, you have compression. So a surgery that went wrong or maybe a motor vehicle accident.
What are some of the symptoms that I'd experience if I had neuropathy?
The most common symptom is pain of some description. So people use insects biting their feet. They use barbed wire wrapped around their feet, fire, ice, pins and needles and nails, electric arcing. Those are very, very common symptoms. Another symptom is that they can't sleep at night. It wakes them up between 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. That's the most common reported symptom.
You're talking quality of life. How many people suffer from neuropathy?
If you looked at only the chemotherapy patients and the diabetic patients, about 40 million people in the United States.
How does chemotherapy play into neuropathy?
The chemotherapy drugs affect the nerves, and 70% of those people will experience peripheral neuropathy at some point.
70%?
Yes, it's very high.
Will suffer neuropathy?
Yes. We deal with the polyneuropathy, so causes from diabetes, causes from chemotherapy, vitamin B12 deficiency, alcohol and excessive use, a number of different farmed chemicals. Those are all types of neuropathy that we can deal with.
Untreated, there are some very serious potential risks.
Well, fall risk is the biggest potential risk, and what is progressive disease. So people move from the pain cycle into the numbness or no pain cycle, which is worse because they have a lack of sensation. They don't know where they're putting their feet. So for an example, they may not know where they're putting their foot on the brake or the accelerator because they have no sensation. And when you have no sensation, you have a balance problem, and therefore you have a fall risk.
A fall risk at 20 is one thing. You're 20. But it's different if you're a little more mature.
It is. It's a lot more dangerous. There's a lot more health risks associated with that if people have falls at an older age. The disease really sets in probably about 5 years before people realize they have it.
Wait a second. So you can have this and not even know it.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are some of those early indicators that maybe people would pay attention to if they knew about them that would help them even mitigate that 5 years?
There's no real early indicators for the first 5 or 6 years. It's the next decade that you have little things like my feet hurt a little bit or my toes hurt a little bit or a little bit of tingling going on once in a while. The same symptoms, but just not as pronounced. And then over the next decade, those symptoms increase to the point where the person needs to do something about it. They feel that now they actually have to do something, and that might be 20 years later.
What are the advantages of early detection and early treatment?
As with any medical condition, if you can address the problem earlier, the results will be better in a shorter period of time.
Neuropathy can commonly be a circulation issue.
Generally speaking, that's what it is.
So treated early, we're talking about not allowing the nerves and the vessels to deteriorate and improve the circulation.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to try to keep feeding the nutrients to the extremities because this is peripheral neuropathy, so it's dealing with the hands, but probably more of the feet. And that's at the very end, and the vessels are very, very small there. So we can keep those alive and keep the tissue alive, and you're going to forestall the eventual.
You can delay it, you can even somewhat reverse it, but not cure it.
You can't cure it, but you can reverse it.
You can have a better quality of life.
A substantially better quality of life.
Well, let's take a look at some of the treatment options.
Okay.
Tell me about Rosa's case of neuropathy. It's not your traditional type.
It's not the traditional type that we see and hear. It's not peripheral neuropathy. Rosa had a case of shingles, and her whole side of her face was full of sores.
Wow.
And that was about maybe a year ago. And then after the sores went away, she was left with what we call post-herpetic neuralgia. So she still has the horrible nerve pain, even though she doesn't have any outward signs of the shingles anymore. So her daughter heard about us and gave us a call and wondered to know if we could help her.
How did you know if this treatment would benefit Rosa?
I've had other patients before who have experienced relief using infrared light therapy for this same condition.
So Rosa came in and had a treatment to see if this was going to work for her.
She did. We had a conversation with her husband and her daughter, and they were a little skeptical, kind of just curious about whether they thought it would work. And they were going to go home and talk about it, but I offered, why don't we just give you a treatment today, and you can see what the treatment is like. And she had immediate results.
Immediate results?
Immediate results after the 20-minute treatment.
Which?
She sat there and was like, oh my goodness. She was immediate results.
For her, relief.
Relief.
For her family.
Relief.
Relief. It was an extraordinary experience.
Yes.
How do you determine if somebody's a good candidate for therapy?
The best way is to determine what group they fall into, and if they fall into the metabolic group, we know we're going to be able to help those people. And the other thing we want to do is determine the severity of the problem. So with those two answers, we can then decide if they're a candidate and then what care plan would be appropriate. And we do that through a series of tests. And most of them are sensation tests. They're simple little tests. They test for hot and cold and sharp and dull, and standard tests are used throughout the industry. But what we do is we add all these tests up and then come up with a score. In addition to that, we do a balance test. So we want to determine what their fall risk is. We have three basic things that we do here, and one of them is nutritional. We want to allow the body to create more nitric oxide that the vibration and the light therapy devices release into the bloodstream, which acts as a vasodilator, which is another word for increasing circulation. That's exactly what we're all about, is increasing local circulation.
How does circulation then impact somebody's neuropathy?
Well, circulation, as we're increasing circulation, nerves are regenerating, new capillaries are being formed, nutrients are being fed to the area, and pain is being reduced.
What interests me is that somebody that has gone from, as you mentioned, having pain to having no pain, when they first begin treatment, you have to go back through the pain cycle again. How does that work?
The progression of this disease is from mild symptoms, a little bit of pain, a little bit of tingling, to more severe pain and more severe tingling and arcing and things like that, into a lack of sensation. That's actually worse. That's where the fall risk comes into play. And our goal is to take them back through that whole thing. As we go back, we're going to go back through the sensation, and they may feel some tingling, they may feel some discomfort on the way. Now, through early intervention, if we can eliminate allowing that person to go all the way to the lack of sensation section, then we start earlier. And when we start earlier, it's easier to get that better results.
So what do you have going on here?
Well, this is a typical setup where the patient sits in here for light therapy, and so we have all the devices pre-connected. We just hook them up. Here we have the massage plate, the vibration plate, which is good for the calves and for the feet. And over here is a massage chair that we typically use for the caregiver that's sitting here for 20 minutes with nothing to do, and so they get a free massage.
What type of treatment is this?
This is a pulsed electromagnetic field bed known as PEMF. We use this for all patients.
One of the things that I think is really important for people to understand is your history in this industry, and that you wanted to make sure that your protocol was affordable to more people than it has been in the past.
Well, we've built light devices since 2003 and supplied them to, I'm going to say, over 1,000 clinics around the country. And what we found is that the prices that people were charging for the protocol, for the care plans, was excessive. And we opened this clinic with the idea to bring the cost down into line so more people could afford it.
How long is the typical treatment protocol?
Typically, it's in clinic and it's 12 weeks long. But some patients need further care, and so we've developed a program where they can do something at home. It also works for people that have a mobility problem. They just physically can't get to the clinic because of distance or they don't drive.
And so you can still help them improve their quality of life as well.
We can, yeah, and that's what we developed that for, to be able to reach more people.
For somebody watching right now that wants to come in and get an evaluation and see if this treatment is right for them, how would they get a hold of you?
The simplest way is to call us at the clinic on 775-382-1415, or they can go online at neighborhoodneuropathy.com, and we're located about 1 block from the airport. Very easy to find, very easy to park.
And anybody that has a family member or suffers from neuropathy themselves should do that. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles.
On today's episode, you're going to need to hold on to your hats, literally. We're with Mike, Jen, and Jules at Skydive Truckee Tahoe. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Why did you take that on as a business, and more importantly, why here?
We're a skydiving family, and when we arrived in Truckee Tahoe, we thought, why is there not a skydiving center here? These are the most incredible views that you've ever seen. You get up in the plane, Lake Tahoe, the surrounding reservoirs, the mountains, it's absolutely gorgeous. In free fall, you get just an incredible opportunity to see the area.
Yeah, Mike and I were in the car one day and we were just thinking about how beautiful the place is, and really, I think I said to him, or he said to me, it's crazy that there's not a skydiving center here already. Why isn't there? And so we started the whole process of finding out what we could do to bring skydiving to Truckee Tahoe and share it with everybody that hadn't experienced it here before.
Yeah, one thing that's really special about this location is that when you show up, everything happens in one spot. You get your briefing, you load the airplane, and then you land at the end of your jump. So it's really nice for people's family and friends that come out to watch. It's all in one location.
Mike, this is more than just a passion for you, skydiving. You've done this professionally, competitively.
Yep, yeah, I've been skydiving for about 29 years and competed and filmed, done a lot of traveling all over the world, skydiving and base jumping and speed riding. When we moved here to Truckee, there was one thing that was missing, and that was skydiving here. We're really stoked to be able to offer it to people.
You add a level to the security of somebody who's diving for the first time. You know, those people that are kind of concerned about it because they've never done it.
Sure.
How many times have you skydived?
I've got about 23,500 skydives.
Just that number is astounding.
Yeah.
Right, so people that have this, oh, skydiving is dangerous. Well, 23,500 times you've been up, you came down, and you're still here talking to me.
Yeah, it's a really, really safe sport. I mean, it's come so far in the last 50 years, you know, and the last 20, 30 years even more. So the equipment, the modern equipment, is super safe. Anybody can skydive. It comes from a time where you had to be a certain type of person to actually want to go out and pound yourself into the ground under these old military round canopies. And now anybody from an 18-year-old all the way up to an 80, 90-year-old person can experience skydive.
Mike's not the only highly, highly qualified jump instructor that you have here.
All of our instructors have thousands of skydives. They're very experienced, and along with that, our operation is a member of the United States Parachute Association.
What does that really mean to somebody who's going to skydive with you?
The United States Parachute Association is the governing body of skydiving in the United States, and we adhere to all their safety guidelines that they set up. In fact, we exceed in many areas of their guidelines that they have.
Yeah, safety is really, really important to us, and we realize that it's an issue that's on people's minds. We follow the rules, and we go above and beyond what is required of us. We want people to know that when they come to our skydiving center that they're going to be taken care of, they're going to be given a lot of personal attention. So we walk people through from the start, from the booking to the time that they leave. One of us is always around guiding the whole process, and so that's also another thing that adds to people feeling safe.
Today we're going to get to see somebody experience this for the first time.
We are.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I think she might be a little nervous.
Well, let's go see it.
Go check it out.
That means release your arms.
Okay.
See? Perfect.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
All right. Let's throw caution to the wind.
All right, let's go.
The closest skydiving center to Reno and the shores of Lake Tahoe, Skydive Truckee Tahoe boasts scenic views of Lake Tahoe throughout your entire freefall experience and most of your parachute ride.
Oh my god!
Yes!
Woo! Hi!
Flying a parachute.
This is amazing!
Isn't that cool?
I want to do it again! Oh my god!
Pick this right one and pull it all the way down to your hip.
Okay. Woo! Wow!
Oh, look at that gorgeous
Oh my
thing.
god!
Very good.
Oh my
You're a natural.
Woo!
Right on, girl. Well, thanks for coming to Skydive Truckee Tahoe. You nailed it.
Oh my god!
And I'm sure this isn't your last skydive.
No, definitely not.
All right.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
See you guys.
Oh my god!
What up?
Good job, Ben! Let's do it again!
Now we're talking. All right, where's the job application? Right up here, babe. Right up here.
We got a volunteer position.
Right?
Oh my gosh, wait, that was so fun. It is scary though. I mean, jumping out is, but you don't have a choice when someone's.
Did you do a couple flips?
I don't know what I did. Did we?
Oh, that was like my favorite part, just sky, earth. But then there's like sky, Tahoe, sky, Tahoe.
I think I was just, I don't know, like all of a sudden the plane got really small and far away, and yeah, it was, yeah,
That was
was
pretty
so
incredible.
fun. Somehow going up in that plane, it's scary in the beginning, you feel this anticipation and anxiety for sure, but then you get high enough that you feel like you're in a normal aircraft, and all of a sudden the ground doesn't seem like the ground, it just seems like a map or Google Maps or something, and so it is terrifying to jump out for
You're
sure.
such a millennial.
But then
Google
when you're
Maps.
finally, I don't know, in the air and you kind of relax and you can put your arms out, I don't think I had very good form because I was freaking out, but it really is pretty incredible. Yeah, what about you?
You know what? I didn't have much anxiety going up. The plane ride itself was just incredible. You know, you're looking at 360 miles long by the breadth of 60 miles of the Sierra, and oftentimes we only know it by where they put the pavement. And so being above it, you just get to see the expanse of the land and how large Tahoe actually is, and just it's such a special place. And then you're seeing it from a special angle, and it just makes the whole experience so special. So for me, I was just, I think I felt pretty calm going up, you know, fantastic pilot, awesome staff, Steve-O and Christine. And then when you go out, it's just, you're so in the moment. It's like everything that you're trying to even think about or process goes out the window, literally, as you go out the window, and you're just living.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what, I think that's the best part about it, especially, you know, in our world, is sometimes it's hard to just find a moment, and then skydiving with Skydive Truckee Tahoe, the moment finds you. So
Yeah, it was amazing. Loved
yeah,
it.
that was amazing. It's
Can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. We'll put it in our yearly budget.
All right.
That was amazing. Did you see her face, her reaction?
Yep, we
Oh.
see that every day.
I know why you love what you do. What type of people have you taken up? I mean, who's sitting here watching right now should consider coming out to go skydiving for the first time?
If you're over 18, come and jump. We need a little bit of athletic ability. You have to be able to lift your legs up on landing, but we take anyone from 18 up. We've had a 90-year-old gentleman come and jump with us.
90 years old.
Yeah.
How fantastic.
Really, I mean, everybody that can physically do it should do it because it's something that changes people's lives. I mean, it sounds dramatic and it sounds like a good story, but it does really change people's lives sometimes because it's a huge facing of fears, it's a huge accomplishment, there's a spiritual element to it, it activates you on so many different levels because it's not something you do every day. And it takes a lot for somebody to want to jump out of a plane, but doing it is an experience like nothing else. I always say there's nothing that's like skydiving.
It's got to be a bucket list for a lot of people that haven't done it yet. And on top of that, from personal experience, I can say top 5 things I've ever done in my lifetime.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
And that's why we do it, because we love to hear people's reactions. People who jump for the first time. It's incredible to see how they react when they land, how they feel about it. It's amazing.
And most people get down and want to go straight back up again.
You know, for people sitting here watching this now going, oh my gosh, I really need to, but I'm still a little hesitant. We need to be honest. Mike has been a little bit modest with us. 23,500 flights. That's not a joke. That's a real number, but it's even more than that.
It is more than that, and Mike is very modest about it, but we like to tell people, since he's one of our owners of Skydive Truckee Tahoe, it's worth people knowing that Mike is also a multiple-time world champion. He's an athlete for Red Bull. He's a stunt person.
In movies.
In movies.
That people know.
Yes.
Like
Transformers 3 and Point Break. He did the stunts for that. So
wow. Very cool.
I think that's good for people to know that you've got somebody that's at the helm of this operation that is really, really experienced and has done so much in the sport.
And that's the basis for the formation of the entire company and that's where your commitment to safety and standards and experience. And then you add to that the beauty of Truckee Tahoe. It's spectacular. Like if there's ever going to be a place that you're going to want to skydive for the first time, I don't care where you are in the world, you need to come here to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just said it all.
Now that I said that, people are saying, well, how do I find them?
They can call us at 888-I-CAN-JUMP or visit us on our website at www.skydivetruckeetahoe.com.
The greatest place on earth to skydive and the greatest phone number to call to do it. They're not just going to have a great time skydiving with you, they're going to remember the call. I can jump. They really can. So thank you so much for having us here. What a great day.
Having you, yeah.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles.
Allie seems nice. Hello?
Hey, Allie, is there any way I could take Amber bowling with me on Friday?
Yes. Yes, she can go bowling on Friday. Yes, of course. Thank you, Allie. And tell Amber I love her.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. For information on becoming a guest on our show, contact us at info@nvbusinesschronicles.com. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week at the same time for more from Nevada Business Chronicles.